Which one would that
That Give Me One Reason. I kind of blues it up a little bit more.
be? If you know the chords, write them down real quick. I'll play.
A, B,
A, B, what was that?
B7. So I sit here in my hole. I hope the Lord can come save my soul. I'm a sinner to my core. I ask forgiveness, nothing more. I'm a sinner to my core. I ask forgiveness, nothing more. My eyes are open, now I can see all of the damage brought on by me. I'm a sinner to my core. I ask forgiveness, nothing more. I'm a sinner to my core. I ask forgiveness, nothing more. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this next episode of The Basement. Excited to see everyone here. I appreciate those who are following us right now. Really big day in the studio. We got Jody Whitesides today, our first guest. And by the way, he's fantastic. We're going to enjoy his music. So let's get the episode started.
All right, everybody, welcome to The Basement. We are excited to have you here today. Today we have a very special guest. We've got Jody Whitesides, an award-winning artist out of Park City, Utah. And so things that he's been featured on: American Ninja Warrior, House Hunters, Tiny House Hunters, Night Watch, the NFL. He's done so many incredible musical projects. It's a great pleasure to have him here today. He does have a single out right now. It was released a little bit ago, and he will be releasing more music soon as everything calms down. But right now, I think we're going to be featured on Perfect Man, and he's endorsed by Taylor Guitars, Sennheiser, Seymour Duncan Phillips, Pickups, and Grosh Guitars, Telefunken, Line 6. He's the real deal. And so we all want to welcome Jody to the party here. All right, we're getting this moved around here really fast. Cables, all sorts of stuff are moving around. It's all right.
We're missing a camera for Jake today, so
yeah,
sadly
we'll get it fixed. So you just get to listen to the invisible floating voice.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, take it away.
Oh, I love the couch session. We get to talk with our guest, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Jody Whitesides. Yeah. I looked a little bit up online, and I was, dude, you got some cred, huh? So tell us about you, man.
I was just a glimmer in my parents' eyes.
Yes. At one point in time, we were all that glimmer. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what got you started in music, man? Tell us your story on that.
What got me started in music is probably a little bit bizarre in that in high school, a group of friends and I decided to do a lip sync contest.
Okay.
And originally I was slated to be the bass player in this faux band. We were going to do Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train.
Okay.
We're doing the rehearsals. And during the rehearsals, I could tell that the guy who was trying to be the guitar player couldn't really make it look like he was playing guitar.
Okay.
So a buddy of mine who knew how to play Crazy Train and had a Gibson Les Paul similar to what Randy Rhoads was played.
Okay.
Let me borrow it. Showed me where to kind of put my hands. He didn't teach me the song, but he kind of said, at this point in the song, put your hands here and do this, do that.
Yeah.
So I do that. And we switch places. He becomes the bass player for the gig. I play the guitar, so to speak, for the thing. The guy playing Ozzy dresses up in a bathrobe. We got a fake bat, filled it full of jelly, did all this stuff to kind of do all of the Ozzy Osbourne stories.
Yeah, you bite the bat.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
And so we get up, we do this. We unfortunately, being in Utah, did not win. Because, of course, people don't really appreciate the theatrics that we put into it.
Let me guess, the Donnie and Marie couple one.
So, but afterwards, a lot of my classmates and other people in the high school came up to me saying, "Hey, man, it really looked like you knew how to play. Do you know how to play that song?" And I'm thinking to myself, if it's this easy to fool people, I might as well learn to do this for real.
Yep.
So that's what I did.
Well, that's cool. That's a great story. It had to be somewhere in the 80s, I guess, huh? Late 70s?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Jake kind of broke down some of the things that you've done. You sounds to me like you at some point in time got really serious and said, okay, I want to make this a career. Is that like, did it just happen that way? Did you go to school and did you like develop it, or did it just, things just fell in place? Because I remember like in the 80s, I traveled around, I tried to make it, I cut, sent all my CD or tapes out at that point in time, played clubs, and it just never hit for me. How did you come with your success?
The first thing I did is I started taking guitar lessons, and I emulated the concept of what Randy Rhoads did.
Okay.
He went to classical guitar teachers. I figured if he's that good of a guitar player, I'm going to go to do the same thing. And I actually started taking lessons with a guy by the name of Todd Woodbury. And the very first thing he said to me when I first walked in the door, if you don't practice, I don't want to teach.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to fucking practice. So
definitely
started fucking practicing. I was practicing initially probably an hour to an hour and a half a day. Then that first summer that I started learning to play, I went to Musicians Institute for their summer session that they did. After that, I started practicing 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
While going to university full time and having a job.
Were you studying music? Or?
No, actually, I was studying computer science and eventually started studying film instead.
Oh.
So I did everything but music in terms of that at university. After I graduated from university, I attended Berklee College of Music for a little bit, and then I went back to Musicians Institute and graduated from Musicians Institute.
Okay.
But the whole time where I was doing all of this, I was literally playing guitar 8 hours a day.
Right.
Plus.
Right.
So it was a lot of practice, so to speak. And the main reason for it is I was thinking to myself, I'm getting a late start compared to guys that are starting at the age of like 7 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
As my parents did not force me to do it. And my very first lesson was like at the age of 7, and I hated it so much they never sent me back.
Right, because you wouldn't practice.
Right, exactly. So when I finally did get into it, it was like laser focused.
Right.
And I had a practice schedule for all 7 days of the week written out on my wall so that I could see at what given point in time in the day what I was supposed to be working on.
Right. Right.
So
that's a lot of dedication.
Disciplined.
Yeah, a lot of dedication and discipline. A lot of my friends say, Ken, I want to learn to play guitar. I said, great. I want you to spend a week of just go standing in a room by yourself and yelling at people, go away. and they say, why is that? I said, because when you're practicing, you don't want anybody around bothering you, and nobody wants to hear you do that because you're going to make 10,000 mistakes. So you're going to stand in a room constantly by yourself. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is the practice time, that takes you away from things. Sure.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with anything you just said.
Yeah.
Although I didn't stand around practicing saying, go away.
So, obviously you became an extremely good guitarist. We listened to you earlier. And how did you break into the business side of it all?
Wow. Okay, good question.
Yeah,
After I
which
graduated,
is why I posed it.
After I graduated from music school, I moved to Colorado thinking, hey, I could go somewhere and be the big fish in the pond. And started working outside of Boulder, Colorado, trying to teach some guitar lessons and trying to put a band together. And the problem that I had there is the pickings for musicians that could keep up were rather slim. And rather than dumb it down, I was kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I decided, screw it. I'm going to move back home. And then just as I'm about to move back home, I get an opportunity from a fellow friend of mine from Berklee College of Music stating that they're moving to Los Angeles with their significant other. And all of a sudden, another opportunity cropped up where a guy that I knew from Musicians Institute was trying to offload something that he had created. And it was kind of like a confluence of events that said, hey, move to LA. So that's what I did.
You had to become the small fish in the right pond.
Yes.
Okay, definitely.
That's a good way of putting
definitely. And so one thing led to another. You got a little bit of success. How did that go?
So when I got to LA, I started teaching guitar lessons because essentially I picked up someone else's teaching business.
Okay.
But I was living with a famous singer and his girlfriend. The famous singer, if everybody is like, hey, who was it? It was Jeff Scott Soto, who started out singing for Yngwie Malmsteen way back in the day. And then he had his own band called Eyes for a little bit, where they had a huge hit called Don't Turn Around. And the interesting thing about that is I actually saw Eyes open for, I want to say, Slaughter at where the Vivint Center is now. It was previously the Delta Center, and it was like their small backside room that was all concrete.
Right.
So I actually had seen this guy prior to ever knowing who he was or meeting him. And then before I actually, let's take a step back even a little further. So a year before I moved in with Jeff and his girlfriend, I had met them at the NAMM show. And I don't know if you know what the NAMM show is. It's like it's like Guitar Center on steroids inside the Anaheim Convention Center.
Okay.
And then some. It spills out now over more than that.
Okay.
But I'm standing in line. This girl taps me on the shoulder from behind, and I'm with a group of friends of mine, and she goes, hey, how's it going? And it was my friend from music school.
Oh, wow.
And then she introduces me to her boyfriend, who's this Jeff Scott Soto.
Okay.
And I turn back around to my friends, and I'm like, hey, do you guys know who Jeff Scott Soto is? And they're like, yeah, he's a singer for Yngwie. And I said, well, that's him. And they all turn around, and they look at him, and they turn to me, and they're like, that ain't him. He doesn't have blonde hair. And I turn back around, and I tell him, I'm like, they say it's not you. And he's like, oh, no. That, and he named off whoever was singing for Yngwie at the time that it wasn't him, but he used to. So that's how I got introduced to Jeff. Right. But it wasn't until...
Were you always a metalhead?
Well, I grew up a metalhead. But once I graduated from Musicians Institute, that changed.
Yeah.
So I initially started thinking that I was going to do like a power trio, kind of like along the lines of King's X meets Rush meets Extreme or something.
Okay.
And
a lot of singers.
Well, sort of. I mean, not exactly. King's X is a power trio. Rush is a power trio.
True,
and Extreme was more Nuno Bettencourt than Gary Cherone, but I mean, he was a great singer.
Right.
For his thing, not for the Van Halen thing. So anyway, meshing all that together, I eventually moved in with Jeff and his girlfriend at the time, and started teaching guitar lessons. And because of hanging out with Jeff, I got to hang out with some really amazing musicians.
I can only
week
imagine.
after week, night after night kind of thing. And it was really cool. And then little things started to happen inside of that realm where one day Jeff asked me to sing backups on one of his records. And to me, that was suddenly like, holy cow. I never thought of myself as a singer, but that kind of made me feel validated.
Right.
I always thought as myself, I was going to be this guitar player and I would be somebody's sidekick to that regard. And it just morphed from there. So it's just little things.
Outstanding.
Catching the flow as things
Well,
went along.
like they say, it's all about the breaks. You could have all the talent in the world, but it's all about the breaks as well. And you sounds like you created some of your breaks. But hey, I'm excited to hear some sounds, dude. Let's get you up on stage and let's hear you sing some stuff. What do you think?
More power to it. Let's do it.
Are we ready, Jake?
We are ready.
Cool.
So we will switch everything over. Give us just one moment. I think it's time for Preston to give us his little bit of insight into music today, or what his segment is.
So we actually decided that we wouldn't do my segment when we have guests, just because we want to save some time, keep the show about the guest, and Jody took his time to come down here and hang out with us, so we wanna respect that and be able to give him some time. But cameras, we have a couple different things going on today. We have this old light stand that my dad used back in his band days, I guess, and we kind of use that now for this GoPro I've got hooked up here, and it's on like a swing bar, and we can change the angles, and we can do a whole lot with that thing. So I think we're
ready.
I think we're getting there with the cameras. But yeah, here's some Jody Whitesides.
You know what I just found out? The basement is cold. The guitar's like, fuck you, dude.
It is a basement.
Yes. All right. First song here is a song called All the Things. It was co-written with a buddy of mine by the name of Greg Watton, who is also a veteran. And it goes a bit like this. Since I was a kid, everyone picked on me. Growing up was the hardest thing for a boy with no self-esteem. So I found a little place in the backyard of my mind. Disappeared without a trace. Want them to find me. For every year that passed me by, there was less of me to recognize. I wish I made more room to grow. Instead of him, what did I know? All the things people say, all the things that people do, bring you down when you let it get to you. All the things you don't know, all the things that make you fall, won't matter when you rise above it all. Oh, now that I've become a man, you were there to walk me through, facing each memory of those who harmed me. Now that I'm trusting you, I'm exploring everything. Emotions may drown me like a river pouring out. For every year that passed me by, there was less of me to recognize. I wish I made more room to grow. Instead of him, what did I know? All the things people say, all the things that people do, bring you down when you let it get to you. All the things you don't know, all the things that make you fall, won't matter when you rise above it all. Finished with the words it hurt. Finished feeling like the no use in living regret. It's best to forget all the things that people say and all the things that people do will bring you down when you let it get to you. And all the things that you don't know, and all the things that make you fall, they won't matter when you rise above it all. All the things that people say, all the things that people do, bring you down when you let it get to you. And all the things that you don't know, all the things that make you fall, all the things Thank you. Where's the clap track that you guys were talking about?
Your guitar is plugged into it right now.
Oh, it is? Well, let's unplug the guitar. Fuck that. All right, so what are we doing now?
Another song.
I'm playing another song? I'm
I'm
playing another song. All right. This one is called Falling In. And it is rather interesting in terms of how it came about. I was told that it was impossible for a guitar player to play slap and pop on a guitar, especially an acoustic guitar. And I'm like, well, piss on that. I can do this.
Right.
So I wrote a riff in slap and pop style and then turned it into an entire song. And then it won an award from the same people that said it couldn't be done. And I got it tattooed on me.
Great story.
In the speechless hush of the 5 a.m., she'll spy upon when my sleeping brings in. If the coffee burns before we meet again, then I'll never know what the lovers can hold. I better grab her with both arms and hold on tight, 'cause she's falling in to trouble, falling in to my life, falling in to fables, falling in, and it feels so right. In a crowd of thoughts, I can wonder how I'll figure out will it be in her head if the world should end before we meet again. Then she'll never know what two lovers can hold. She better grab me with both arms and hold on tight, 'cause she's falling in to trouble, falling in to her life, falling in to fables, falling in, and it feels so right. And through the course of the day, I think of things to say, and then they fade away. And through the course of a fight, I feel things are right, and then it goes all night. We're falling in to trouble, falling in to our lives, falling in to fables, falling in, and it feels so right. Falling into troubles, falling into our lives, falling into fables, falling in, and it feels so right.
Dude, that was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
That was called what now?
Falling In.
Falling In. Is that recorded somewhere?
It is. You can find it on your favorite streaming service anywhere in the world.
I
Well,
will
maybe not anywhere.
Definitely be adding that to my song list.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
and the fun thing about it is I actually have a tattoo of this right here on this, where the title of the song and then the waveform of where I sing the words "falling in" for the first time in the song.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
It's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Excellent.
you've seen it?
Yeah.
Did I show it to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember, I filmed your music video.
This is true, but I don't remember being naked for it.
Yeah, before you put your jacket on. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I
Showed
did.
it to me.
Yeah. So yeah, and I did that mainly because I figured if I'm gonna get a tattoo, I want it to be original, and I got it done in a famous LA tattoo parlor, and the guy that did it for me saw it, kind of freaked out about it, pulled every other tattoo guy in the place in to check it out, saying, "Dude, you got to see this. This is the most original idea I've ever seen." So I was like, "Yes, that's what I wanted." So, are we continuing on with more songs?
yeah,
Are we splitting it up?
You got another one, man.
We're definitely.
You got at least one more.
I got one more. That's
got
right.
one
I
more?
do have at least one more. There's nothing here for us anymore. We've seen what's hiding behind the mystery door. What we're looking for, we haven't found. Top in the car and turn our lives around. We can fly down the road. I don't care where we go. You and I in the flow. Anywhere, let's just go. Let's just go. There's more to life than just traffic jams. I want Woodstock, I want Burning Man. What we're looking for, we haven't found. Top in the car and turn our lives around. We can fly down the road. I don't care where we go. You and I in the flow. Anywhere, let's just go. Let's just go. Run through the stop signs, cross all the state lines. I'm yours and you're mine. It's time, let's just go. We've had enough of this billboard town. Top in the car and turn our lives around. We can fly down the road. I don't care where we go. You and I in the flow. Anywhere, let's just go. Let's just go.
Woo! Yes. Nice.
Thank you very much. Ah.
Wow.
And the basement goes wild.
That it does.
I need you guys to calm down here in the front row.
Well, a couple great songs from our first ever guest on here on the basement. We're all really excited down here, and
You can just hear it. It's so palpable in his voice.
Calm down, Preston.
So excited down here, man.
you know, I'm in awe.
Speechless.
I am almost speechless. These cameras angles have been coming through. The music has been great. A
man of few words.
I have left him speechless.
Preston has always been a man of few words.
So I'm not surprised that he is not not a man who's most verbose. Especially since I'm his father, you'd think he'd get a little bit of that. So, wow, dude, that was fantastic, bro. I'm sitting here thinking, I've got this great show going on in my basement, and this excellent musician is entertaining me, and to be honest, this is what I thought it should be. So
what a first!
Yes,
What
a great first.
Like,
A great first. So, hey, you're really in touch with the business side of the industry and everything. What's the buzz in today's world as far as, with COVID and no shows are really being going on? People are just now getting back into it. What's happening in today, in your opinion, the buzz? What is the buzz?
The buzz.
Yes.
Well, my viewpoint is a little different from what a lot of other people are probably attempting to do. I have friends that are. You didn't turn my mic on. What the hell?
Gosh. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
All right.
There we go.
Hey, dude. All right. So now you can hear me. So my viewpoint on things is a little different from a lot of my friends, and I think part of it is the nature of how I tend to work is a bit different. So I do have friends that are going out, flying out, doing show dates and that kind of thing, and more power to them. I think it's lovely that they want to get out and perform because that's their driving goal, and I get it. I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love to perform, but it's not my driving goal to do it in the middle of a pandemic. And I feel like we're still in the middle of a pandemic. If we look at history, it says we got a ways to go.
Right.
And so I have not been overly adamant about getting out to performing live. Although I have friends that are doing it. I have other friends that are doing it on a much larger scale, and suddenly they're having to scale back because somebody in their touring entourage gets COVID, or they can't get the restrictions that they want at the venue, or they have to cancel shows and that kind of thing. So I appreciate that they're trying to be at least as safe as they can be about it. So the buzz, though, is that obviously people want to get out and start playing live again, and I think it's a great thing, and I think audiences still want to get out and see live music too, but we need to be smart. That's just all I'm going to say about it.
Right. I couldn't agree more with the fact that being smart and doing it the right way. Have you noticed, at least for you, we've seen the drive-in theaters, concerts. We're seeing, much like we're doing, live stream, large, except they're doing it way, as you see, we're running around moving cameras and stuff and everything.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, but they're doing these large. Do you? In your opinion, do you feel that that is as effective of a live show? Is that going to be more the norm as we go on down the road?
I don't think it'll be the norm. I think eventually this will taper off, which is what will happen provided that enough of humanity does the right thing, so to speak.
Right.
And we'll get back to a livelihood that we used to know. It might change a little bit, but it won't be so drastic like it was last year and how it's currently going to start falling down again right now. But I think it'll eventually come back. It's just we have to be a little more patient.
Right.
Well, what do you think about the sudden change in? We've got a lot more streaming music now. The venue has ultimately changed in a lot of ways. Do you think that'll continue to stay that way? Do you think that'll be a new norm, as we just say, or do you think it'll all go back to how it was, live music and live shows?
Well, live music and live shows and all that will happen, and I think what will probably start taking place is because not everybody, but a lot of people are putting in place things like you guys are doing. You're putting up cameras, you're doing a live streaming kind of thing. I think venues will eventually start live streaming everything and then charging a fee for it. And then some of that will kick back to the venue. Some of it will kick back to the artist, as it should for people that aren't attending the show. There should be some kind of compensation going on for the entertainment that you're getting.
Right.
So
you look at the concept of Austin City Limits. I mean, that was from the 70s, and it's still kicking. And more and more and more people are doing that idea right now. And so we had a discussion the other day of smaller bands. Start out, they go play all their live shows, they play regional, they play bars, they play little venues, and then they get their regional following, and then they play bigger and bigger and bigger. And without that being able to happen now, do you see that a suppression of new artists, say in 4 and 5 years, because they didn't get to be able to do the road work that needed to be?
No. I think it will change. The road work or the path changes. And I think when you don't have the ability to play the live shows, you need to start putting your money where your mouth is, which is the same thing you're doing when you're going out and busting ass for no money playing shows anyway.
Right.
But now you can take out ads in social media,
Right.
on YouTube,
Mhm.
on Facebook,
Okay. Mhm.
on Instagram, on TikTok. You can advertise on those platforms. And if you find the right audience and you find it with the right advertising, you will gain an audience anyway.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, in my mind, where the new normal is headed for the time being until the pandemic kind of ends, is that you are still advertising. You can't trust just posting on social media is going to get anywhere.
Right.
But if you advertise, you actually put money behind what you're doing, which is what you're doing anyway when you go out to play live,
Right.
then you're going to see some
You
sort
know,
of return.
I look at that more as sweat equity. You know, a band goes out, they do all these venues, they work for, like you said, they play for free.
That's the
you know,
10,000
you know.
hours concept,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Yes, the 10,000 hour concept, and we talked about that. You know,
Yep.
in the fact that now what you're saying is that you're going to have to put your 10,000 hours in a different way.
Well, yeah, you're just not doing it in front of a live audience at the
Right.
moment.
Right.
I mean, you can, it's just not wise.
Well,
Right.
we also have to look at how impactful 1 year really truly was.
Sure.
I mean, that was a huge impact on the industry, and what I've noticed and what I have been perceiving. I'm not sure if it's what everybody's perceiving, but one thing that's happened is like the major labels and where all the live music is actually heading. It's back to old artists that are already established. Like, we've got less new music coming out right now than I think I've ever felt.
Do
I'm
you
not
feel
sure
that's
I
the
agree
case?
with that. No, I don't think I agree.
I don't think so.
There's a lot of artists releasing a lot of music on streaming services, but
But are they getting
are they getting the splash?
right?
Right. That'll
Probably not. And the reason being is that you, like I said, as I was just saying a moment ago, with the advertising on social media, you don't have a lot of artists doing that.
True.
And so, because it's sort of like starting with your legs chopped off at the knee.
Yeah.
And if you don't advertise, then your legs are chopped off at your groin.
I just think true.
That's the way I would
Yeah,
say
no,
it.
Right.
true. I just think
Yeah.
that year really changed the way that people actually get their name out there. And right now, the music industry is focusing on recouping money. That's what they're focused on. And so they're going to.
Well,
it's
they're always
because-
focused
it's
on
always
that.
about that money. It's
Yeah.
all about the money and those type of things.
It's always going to be, but they
You know,
don't have. I feel like they don't have room for new artists right now that aren't put.
I don't know. I think the love of playing music is going to be there, and people are going to play.
Yeah, that
And
doesn't
people
change.
want people to, see them, and they want to entertain people, and that's why I do it, and that's why we have this show. That's why you're here. Is I want to be entertained, and if I can spend 5 minutes and entertain people, and they enjoy what I have done, that's why I play. That's why I do this. I was telling everybody the other day we were at the KOA. And me and the Joking Band were just sitting around the fire playing, and we turned around. All of a sudden, there's like 40 people there, and that was why I did it. That's why
Sweet.
I do it, and I know that's what that's. Don't you feel that's why people are still doing it?
Everybody's got a different reason for what they're doing. It's never one singular concept in that regard, at least to me.
Right.
And to kind of speak to the power of music, there was one point in LA where I got played on a rather popular morning radio show there. And the first song that I played here today, called All the Things, that was the song that they played, or the first of two songs that they played. And somebody called in and told them he had to pull his car over to call into the show and tell them he was having such a shitty day until he heard that song, and it turned the entire day around for him. And it's like, what's more powerful than that?
Nothing.
I mean,
Nothing.
that's just,
Yeah.
you're telling me that, you're having such a shitty day. And he kind of took it a little bit further than that, but it was just like, holy cow,
Right.
that's awesome.
You affected that man's life.
Well, it
Yes.
probably affected more people than that, but
That's
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying,
that was
yes.
one guy was
Yes.
representative of calling in and saying, hey man, you just changed my entire day.
Right.
So that was awesome. I mean, it makes you feel good.
We might get that effect here from this morning show. Somebody might be seeing that, saw that, and said, "Holy crap, this guy just made my day today." Because I know for a fact we have one lady who broadcasts and it's her whole office is listening to it.
Right.
And she might only be one viewer, but there's a lot of people listening to it.
That's a big office.
And
Sorry.
that second song, I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to download that thing, and I'm going to learn how to play it. In fact, I'm probably going to get you to show me.
I'll tell you what.
You know.
You can buy the PDF of how to play it off my website.
Nice. And I guess and I'm going to spend that money and time because, so long term, what's next for Jody Whitesides?
Right now, I have a stockpile of singles that I've been recording during the pandemic. I'm also trying to stockpile music videos as well. And Jake here has actually shot one of them, which is very cool. I'm still waiting to see the rough draft and getting it ready, but we're
we had
getting
a lot
there.
of things happen.
We're getting there. So right now I'm stockpiling stuff, and I've actually had I'm a voting member of the Grammys, and I had fellow voting members asking me, hey, are you releasing anything this year? What can I hear to like possibly vote on? And my answer is the same this year as it was last year, is like, I will start releasing when the pandemic is technically over.
Right.
So I'm not releasing anything probably until early next year at this point, with the way it's going.
Best.
Yes.
At best. So are you not releasing because as soon as you release, you want to go out and tour? And,
I would like to go out and
up
play and do a proper promotion.
Right.
And, in addition to doing ads and stuff with
Right.
social media and such,
Right.
I would like to do
Right.
both.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you is that right now you're just going to kind of chill out, you're going to do small things like this and then as things happen. So do you have a plan as far as I'm going to release and then I'm going to go to Los Angeles and then I'm going to go to Houston, Texas? Do you have it all lined out and everything?
No, because I'm seeing what's happening with friends where they're putting up tours and then all of a sudden they're having to cancel. And it's like, why even put in the effort and get people
Right.
all excited and then suddenly like, psych.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
So it makes no sense.
Yeah.
However, I recently had a nice long conversation with one of my agents, and there are some things in motion. Contracts have just been signed, but until the money is in my pocket and things are actually like here in my hand,
Right.
other than the contract, I'm gonna kind of stay mum on it.
I often equate that to I spent 33 years in the Army and I was an Army medic and stuff, and I always told people the Army's going to tell you, hey, this is going to happen. Well, don't count on that until you actually have an order in your hand. You're going and doing that.
Until you're shipped off.
Until you are actually, I am at this duty station. Okay, this is going to happen.
Right.
So I can totally understand.
Yeah,
Well,
there's been a number of things over the course of my career where it's like you start talking about it before it happens, and all of a sudden it doesn't happen, and everybody looks at you like, dude, what the fuck?
Right.
So
Right. Kiss is here. They're going to be here. Oh no, they're not. Kiss is coming back. No, they're not. Yes, those type of things. So.
I've got hundreds of those stories.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jody, I've really enjoyed you being my first guest, and I want to give props to Jake and Preston. They've done a fantastic job.
So I popped your cherry, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yes, pretty much so.
Sweet.
Yes, our guest cherry. Yes.
Kind of had to force it. I was like, we really need to get a cherry in here. Can we please get this done like now?
Yeah.
Can I have a cherry so I can pop it right now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only if you can tie it.
I'll be honest, I quit doing
I don't
that.
think I can do that.
I used to do that. Like we get a new guy in my station, and he would write his first contract, and then but apparently HR is like, oh, you can't do that no more because But anyways, hey, thanks for being here.
Sure.
I'm really excited about listening to more music. Downloading some stuff and everything. I hope that you enjoyed your time here, and I would really appreciate you and me playing a song together. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that my 3 chords and everything, stuff like that. But I would love to jam with you because that's my thing, playing
All right.
music with people and spreading the good stuff. So Preston, are we ready to go to the stage?
Yeah. Hey, Transition Preston here.
Yeah, that's his new title. Transition Preston.
Welcome to the Basement Transition to the Stage, where I talk about a thing. And then I also talk about another thing.
What thing are you talking about,
The
sir?
thing I'm talking about today is the fact that I will talk about a thing every time that there's a transition. And I will be able to cover that thing during the transition. But in all seriousness,
You can put us back on us and people can watch what's happening.
I am still in awe of how amazing Jody Whiteside's songs have been. And
What are you saying about my songs? Am I getting more?
What?
I'm saying your songs are really good.
Preston's a big EDM, young dude music now.
I never would have dreamed of something like this happening to me. This is far beyond my wildest dreams.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy.
All right, I think we're ready for you guys to get jamming.
Y'all, I'm in heaven. Say, give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around, years around. I say, give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around, years around. Say, I don't want to leave you lonely. You gotta help me and change my mind. Well, this youthful heart can love you, oh, and give you what you need, what you need. Say this youthful heart can love you, oh, and give you what you need, what you need. But I'm too old to go chasing you around, wasting my precious energy. Hey, Jody. I don't want no other lover that might take away my life, here's my life. I don't want no other lover that might take away my life, here's my life. I just want someone to hold me, oh, and rock me through the night. I say, give me one reason to stay here, oh, and I'll turn right back around, years around. I say, give me one reason to stay here, oh, and I'll turn right back around, years around. I just want someone to hold me, oh, and rock me through the night. Y'all, just understand, dude, that That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, it's about time to end another episode of The Basement. Want to let everybody know we appreciate you guys being here. Things that I'm getting some signals on here.
Jody still got a couple of songs.
Oh, Jody still got a couple songs?
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, let's do it,
We're
Jody.
not done yet.
We're not done
There's
yet.
more music to be
There's more
had.
music to be had. Let's get Jody out. I'm just all excited. I'm like, didn't notice the time.
Yeah, we still got time.
We still got time. There's still time. All right. How much time do we got? What are we doing?
You got time for about 3 songs.
3 songs. How long are the songs?
As long as you would like them.
We got probably about a good 10 minutes.
Well, I can do 2.5 in that time.
2.5.
All right. This one's called Hero Unexpected. Glimpses of the man I'm to be. They're pushing me on a historic journey. It's my turn to be some kind of time around. I'll start with flying and I'm falling upside down. But I can climb, I can heal, sketch things that will be real. Inside my mind, I wanna feel I'm disconnected as your hero, unexpected. I begin to understand all the reasons a stranger says save her to save the world. I'm determined to be going down that highway, knowing I can try to prevent a death. Hear your thoughts, control matter, or jump through space and time. Inside my mind, I wanna be fine. I'm disconnected as your hero, unexpected. I've got to learn to take control. Clear my head and let you in, or I may explode. I can't change face, disappear. I may go nuclear. Inside my mind, I have no fear. I'm disconnected as your hero, unexpected. I'm disconnected as your hero, unexpected. Hero unexpected. Thank you. And the basement crowd goes wild.
Good guess.
Need a road tech.
That was a drop D.
Yes, it was. That it was.
And in music, it's a whole lot different than another way of dropping the D.
All right, this next one is called A Perfect Man. And I happen to be wearing that shirt today.
Perfect band.
I am, yes, a perfect man. All right, here we go. Perfect man. Never was the most perspicacious, even though I am a tad suspicious. I'm loyal and protective of what's right and what's fair. take just as well as I give, 'cause it's the only way I've learned to live. Took a lot of heartbeats for it to get me there. I am someone, I am no one, I am great yet I am not. I am poor, I am rich, I am fine with all I've got. I am good, rarely bad, I am happy, I am sad. May not have all that you want, but I can be the best you've had. Wasn't meant to be a perfect man, even though I do the best that I can. Even if I was Superman, wasn't meant to be a perfect man. I can never be a perfect man, even though I have the best laid plans. Even though I do the best I can, I can never be perfect. Hope I don't come off self-righteous. Times it's hard to put that right touch. Figure I'm anxious just to make my point count. I'm open to all compromises, 'cause all my choices aren't the wisest. Only wanna be of use when problems mount. I am someone, I am no one, I am great yet I am not. I am poor, I am rich, I am fine with all I've got. I am good, rarely bad, I am happy, I am sad. May not have all that you want, but I can be the best you've had. But wasn't meant to be a perfect man, even though I do the best that I can. Even if I was Superman, wasn't meant to be a perfect man. I can never be a perfect man, even though I do the best that I can. Even if I was Superman, wasn't meant to be a perfect man. I can never be I forgot the words right in the middle. Oh shit, here we go again.
But you're not a perfect man.
That's right, it worked out. Thank you.
Welcome to the basement, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a nice little acoustic guitar solo that's supposed to go over this along with a sax.
I can play the mouse sax.
You could, my confession, place your head up on my shoulder. Together we can learn the lessons, take us through when we get older. Wasn't meant to be a perfect man, even though I do the best that I can. Even if I was Superman, wasn't meant to be a perfect man. I can never be a perfect man, even though I have the best laid plans. Even though I do the best I can never be perfect. Wasn't meant to be a perfect man, even though I do the best that I can. Even if I was Superman, wasn't meant to be a perfect man. I can never be a perfect man, even though I have the best laid plans. Even though I do the best I can never be perfect. Minus a little fuck up.
Yeah, that's the basement, though. That's what it's all about. Live music, right?
Live music.
Live music.
Don't stop.
Yep.
Just make a joke and go on.
Well, that has been another episode of The Basement, guys.
No, I got one more.
You got one more?
I got one more.
You got one more?
I got one more.
You got one more.
We're going long. We're going long.
Encore. Encore.
We're going long.
Jody.
No, the irony of that is that I used to play in a Queensryche tribute band, and I'm sure if you're familiar with that, you'd understand. So there's a song that they had called Jet City Woman.
Correct.
And I was playing the Chris DeGarmo character in this band. So we're playing at this venue. For some reason, the light guy shut off the lights as we start the song. And I'm like to play the solo that that goes into the intro of this song. And I can't see a thing, and I'm not really I have no idea where my hands are on my guitar, and I start to play, and it's just coming out. And I stand there, and the lights come up, and I just put my hands on my hip, and I wait for the section to come around again. I start again, same fucking problem, not hitting the right notes, and even though I'm now able to see what I'm doing, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like I'm looking at my hands, I'm laughing. The singer comes over to me and he whispers in my ear, he goes, "That's coming out of your pay." And of course, I just decide, I walked back to the amp setup that I had, and I just stood there kind of looking like a coquettish ingenue, waiting for the song to kick into the point where I didn't have to play the solo and we could just continue on. And I had multiple people come up afterwards saying, "Dude, you handled that so well by not getting nervous." And I'm like, I know the fucking song.
Right.
I just couldn't play it for whatever reason right there. And it reminds me, there was a point, if anybody's familiar with King's X, that's probably still online. They were playing a show at the House of Blues. And Ty Tabor, who is also a freaking phenomenal guitar player, in the middle of one of their songs that everybody knows, suddenly plays the wrong thing. And you see Doug and Jerry just kind of like, what the hell just happened? kind of thing. And, and they're playing along. They're still playing. They didn't stop. And then he did it again, fucked it up again, and he stops. And, they all stop. And he's looking, he walks up to the mic and he goes, I don't know what's going on. He did the almost exact same thing that I did. Right. Only this time he goes, you watch. That riff that I just fucked up with is now going to become a new song. And sure enough, on the next album, the fuck up became the riff for a new song, which is pretty awesome.
That's how it works, man.
I haven't gotten that far yet with like fucking it up to a point where I want to make it into a song.
Well, just rewatch the show. You might learn something new.
I don't know if anybody videotaped that show where I fucked up the Jet City Woman thing. But, all right. Anyway, this is the song that I tend to close out shows with. It's called Till We Meet Again. And in the studio, the co-producer that was working with me on it turned around after one take of the vocals that we did, and he's like holding up his arms, and I'm like, what? And he goes, look. And he's like got goosebumps everywhere on his arms. And he starts to tell me that it's going to be, this is your Purple Rain. And I'm kind of like, wow, that's a lot to live up to. But it's called Till We Meet Again. Now I got to remember how to play it. Oh yeah, so there it goes. Could you imagine Prince getting up on stage and not remembering how to play Purple Rain? We were in love, and it was magic. Happy to say it wasn't tragic. So true, so true, so true. I'll stay young till we meet again. Carry on till we meet again. I'll stay open, keep on hoping till we meet again. Lost within you, time was flowing. Here in my arms, love is growing. With you, with you, with you. I'll stay young till we meet again. Carry on till we meet again. I'll stay open, keep on hoping till we meet again. Life goes by and I won't forget. Turns to gold in every moment. Turns to gold in every moment. I'll stay young till we meet again. Carry on till we meet again. I'll stay open, keep on hoping till we meet again. I'll stay young till we meet again. Carry on till we meet again. I'll stay open, keep on hoping till we meet again. Till we meet again.
Nice.
Thank you very
Till we
much.
meet again. Yes, yes, yes. Hey everybody,
Parting words,
just
parting words.
want to say thanks to Jody for being here on the popping our cherry. You know, not often at my age do I get to thank a guy for popping my cherry.
Here's a cherry.
Yeah, cherry. It's popped.
There you go.
And it's been a great show. Dude, you're a fantastic artist. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, I want to thank everybody who's out there, all you groovy cats and kittens, for checking in on the show. My man Paul, Brittany, got Nicole, everybody. Thank you for your support. Again, let's wrapping it up on another show. I appreciate everyone being here with us in the basement. We're out. Rock and roll.